If you're experiencing random heart palpitations, anxiety that comes out of nowhere, or you just feel like your body's off and you're not really able to put a name to what's going on, chances are you've gone to your doctors and they say everything is fine. It's just anxiety. Well, it's not just in your head. Many people thought that they were broken or this is something that they were just gonna have to manage with forever. But the truth is, after helping thousands of people overcome their symptoms and go back to living, I wanna share with you in this video exactly what's going on. And no, I'm not gonna be talking about mold toxicity or some sort of vitamin deficiency or try to sell you some sort of supplement. A lot of this is on educating you on what's going on and helping you with the tools and strategies to overcome these symptoms once and for all. I remember I was dealing with heart palpitations, what doctors classified as panic attacks, although for me it felt like I was about to pass out or even die. I was getting intense visual changes, bad digestive issues, and I remember there was this time where I wasn't even able to go inside of a grocery store. I was stuck in my car. I didn't want to go inside a grocery store because I was afraid I was going to pass out, or if there was a line in the grocery store, what happens if I had a panic attack and I had to leave? And at the same time, I remember struggling to drive home as well, because what happens if I was experiencing these symptoms? What happens if I just passed out of nowhere? And the most frustrating part about all of this is that anytime I went to the doctors, they just said it was anxiety, like this was just something in my head. But these symptoms were just way too intense, and it wasn't something I could just ignore and go back to living. These symptoms were so debilitating that there's no way I could live a normal life and function while these sensations and symptoms were there at the same time. I was put on medication, I went to talk therapy, we went into childhood trauma, we did everything we could, and I just couldn't get an answer and I couldn't get these sensations to go away. It was really easy to think that the doctors had misdiagnosed me or that something else was going on. I was very susceptible to alternative medicine that would dismiss doctors, saying that doctors don't diagnose these things or they can't help you with these specific issues that I was dealing with. And then they sold me their supplements, their techniques, whatever that was. So you might be thinking, okay, Shaan, what exactly is going on? Well, I want you to understand that even though you might be experiencing intense symptoms, this isn't a body issue. And just like your doctors say it's anxiety, this isn't exclusively a mind issue as well. What's really going on is happening to the level of your nervous system. Your nervous system has a lot of functions. How each organ communicates with one another and also how you communicate with the outside world. It's very fast, it's responsive, and it just has a whole bunch of different functions. But to make things simple, your nervous system has two modes. It has survival and it has safety. When you're in survival, you're in this fight or flight response. Your body goes through the stress response. Your body produces certain stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, and when it's in safety, it's in rest and digest. You're more relaxed. What you're really dealing with is a survival mechanism, your nervous system being stuck on survival, and now it's stuck in that mode even when you're safe. Now, a lot of people acknowledge this and they understand that the nervous system is stuck on fight or flight, but they might be thinking, why is it stuck on fight or flight? Is it because I have a nutrition deficiency? Is it because of a thyroid condition? Oh, my thyroid results came back normal. Is it because of mold toxicity? Is it because of this? Is it because of candida? What's going on? Well, what I have found helping people around the world isn't any of those things. Now, before I move on further, if this video is helping and if you resonate, I highly recommend subscribing to this channel. I create tons of videos on helping you understand what's going on, and it helps the channel more than you think. Comment down below exactly what you're dealing with too, and as a thank you, I want to respond to as many people as I can in the comments below. Because no one has explained to you what's going on, you are looking at these symptoms, sensations, and feelings as danger. You don't want to feel it. It is way too uncomfortable. And so what's happened naturally is that you're resisting the feeling. You're resisting the sensation. What this is causing is your fight or flight response to turn on even more. Think about it. If you are running away from something, if you're avoiding something, if you're resisting something, you're telling your nervous system that something is dangerous. Now, what makes all of this even more confusing is that these symptoms and sensations are so bizarre, yet the medical labs are missing it. They can't catch anything. You might think that these lab tests are not very accurate or very precise. Well, I want to challenge you in thinking about it a different way, because the truth is that these lab tests are actually very precise. But What's going on is that the issue you're dealing with is not what these lab tests are designed to detect. Remember, these lab tests, the EKGs, the blood tests, it's to decipher and identify any sort of medical issue, any sort of physical issue. But just because you're dealing with something physical doesn't mean that the issue is physical. We're talking about a nervous system issue. And the reality is that these tests don't measure your nervous system, because your nervous system going into fight or flight mode or not is not a medical issue. Your doctor doesn't say, oh, your nervous system is in fight or flight mode, therefore you're sick. That's not true. If a tiger was out to come to get you, if you were stressed about something, the fight or flight response kicking in is exactly what it's supposed to do. Another way to look at this is that what you're dealing with are perceived threats. These sensations, these symptoms, these are considered perceived danger. And your doctor is not there to help you with perceived danger. He's there or she's there to identify, is there a medical issue or not? What happens is that when you are stuck in this fight or flight mode for so long, when your nervous system is on this stimulated state for such a long time, it eventually becomes habit. You'll notice that people that have been in this cycle for a long time, once they start finding relief, they notice that feeling no stress, no anxiety, no sensation feels very weird, very foreign, because they're not used to the silence. They're used to this chaos and storm of symptoms and sensations and discomfort that's constantly following them around. And even though the longer this goes on, the more of a habit it becomes, that doesn't mean the habit can be unlearned. What you need to do is understand what's going on and learn how to unlearn these habits. Now, an important concept I want you to understand is that in order to overcome this, the first thing you need to do is something called building your window of tolerance. Okay, so think about it this way. You're used to resisting these symptoms. They're just too uncomfortable. You would probably say, Shaan, if you knew how uncomfortable this feels, you would not want to feel this. I totally understand. But I want to ask you, has this resistance helped? You might have even built your life around anxiety or these sensations. You stop going places. You start building your life around that. And you start mentally convincing yourself that this is normal. I want to let you know that this is not normal. Building your life around these sensations is classic avoidance behavior, and all it does is that it limits your world and makes your life smaller and smaller. So if resisting isn't the issue, then what do? Well, you focus on developing your window of tolerance. You allow the sensations to be there. You allow the symptoms to be there without resisting it. The problem is that people aren't able to build their window of tolerance because they think these symptoms are dangerous. So one of the most important things to focus on is learning why these symptoms happen. I call this learning the mechanics of anxiety. When the doctor says anxiety, I'm not just talking about in your head. I'm talking about a nervous system issue. How these fight or flight responses affect your vision, your digestion, your breathing, maybe that numbness or choking sensation, the tingling feelings, the tinnitus. Why does it create all that? Once you understand why that is happening, well, your window of tolerance will naturally grow. Now, if you want to know what that is a whole separate topic I could talk about for hours, but if you really want to know, I'll put a link down below to the desensitization blueprint. This helps you desensitize your nervous system, and as a consequence, as your nervous system calms down, these symptoms go away as a consequence. You don't have to fix each symptom. If you can show your nervous system how to calm it down, these symptoms go away on its own. The link is down below, check it out. Now, as you're building that window of tolerance, your body is finally able to burn off that excess adrenaline. Your body's able to finally come back to baseline. The problem is that your body hasn't done it, not because it's broken, but because you've been used to resisting and feeling these symptoms and sensations for so long. Once I understood what was going on, once I understood how to begin reversing the cycle, the symptoms didn't go away automatically. But what it did do was that it prevented me from making myself fall into the cycle even more. As you build that window of tolerance, as you let the symptoms be there, you will see your body over time comes back to baseline. Recovery isn't linear, but you will find over time the symptoms subside. You can go on to grab dinner with your friends while still experiencing the heart palpitations. You can be going on vacation feeling a little bit dizzy here and there. And over time, you're teaching your nervous system not through words, but through action that everything is fine, that you are not in danger. Remember, this is a practice and it's not something that happens overnight. So as you're working on this, you will deal with ups and downs, but the focus here is to be consistent. Now, if you want to know the 5 steps on how to focus on this consistency and focus on overcoming this once and for all, make sure to check out this video right here.